Hi and welcome to this week's Tumbler tutorial. We are going to start out with a 25-ounce skinny sublimatable tumbler by the Stainless Depot. I have already gone ahead and prepped this tumbler by sanding it lightly and then creating a small stainless steel rim at the top. We're going to start off with a vinyl sheet from Slide Hustle and also a UVDTF from Sparkly Mima on TikTok. I'm going to start by trimming all the white edges off of each side of this vinyl sheet, and then I will go ahead and trim down the bottom edge of the cowhide so it is the same measurement as the top portion of cowhide. You'll see in just a moment here. I'm going to get this bottom trimmed off so it matches the top, and then save the scrap portion so that I can use it for pinstripes in a future project. I'm going to wrap this vinyl sheet around the tumbler, making sure that everything lines up properly. I am ensuring to keep a fine line of stainless steel exposed as I line up this vinyl, which will help me in the final steps. Now that I'm happy with the placement and the lineup of the vinyl, I am going to tape down one edge. Now that I have one side of this vinyl taped onto the tumbler, I'm able to remove a small portion of the backing and then use my vinyl squeegee to push the vinyl onto the tumbler, all while the backing is pushed off at the same time. Before you get to the end, be sure to remove that painter's tape that was holding the first edge down. I have already added 10 ml of Flynn Sisters Fast Cure Epoxy. Using striping tape, I am going to prep my tumbler for the upcoming pinstripes. I'm going to utilize the design on this vinyl to line up that striping tape around the tumbler so that I can easily apply the pinstripes exactly where I want them. This prep work also helps me with ensuring that my pinstripes are being applied straight. Here with the striping tape, I am masking off the exposed stainless steel so that when I apply pinstriping to the top, I ensure that it stays on the vinyl and it does not go over onto the exposed stainless steel portion. Doing this will help minimize sanding off any of that vinyl pinstriping when it comes to your final coats of epoxy. Adding another piece of this vinyl striping at the bottom so that when I go into paint, it will allow me to have a crisp line and nothing on that beautifully printed vinyl. I'm going to do a quick measure just to make sure that I have the same gap all the way around the tumbler between the vinyl design and the very bottom. With the prep work of the striping tape, I can now apply my pinstripes by simply butting it up against that striping tape, ensuring that I have a straight line. My first set of pinstripes are Mirror Chrome Vinyl by TeckWrapCraft in a turquoise color, and they are 11.5 inches by 0.15. Now that my first set of pinstriping is done, I'm going to remove the striping tape that I had used as a guide. Now I'm going in with a thinner piece of vinyl pinstriping, which is the brown textured metallic from, I believe, Make Market, and I sized this at 11.5 by 0.07, and I'm just placing that in the center of each piece of turquoise pinstriping. Now that I've completed the first set of pinstripes, we're going to go ahead and paint the bottom of this tumbler with Delta Ceramcoat's acrylic paint in the color turquoise. Once fully painted, I'm going to remove the striping tape and then dry that paint up with my heat gun. I absolutely love how crisp that line is. There's no bleeding underneath this striping tape. I'm literally obsessed. Now we're going to go in, put more striping tape on so that we can apply some foil glue from Southern Belle Glitters. Once this foil adhesive is applied completely in that section of the tumbler, I am going to then dry on low heat with my heat gun until it turns clear. Now that foil glue is nice and tacky, we're going to go in with a mix of foils. This set I got from Michael's, and it has some copper tones, some teal tones, gold tones, and even some purple tones. I did remove the purple as I just didn't feel like it went with this particular tumbler, but I'm just kind of smushing it on, and then I will go ahead and really rub it down, giving a multicolored look at the bottom. We're back at it with the striping tape again. I am placing a super thin line at the edge between the vinyl and the foils that I applied, adding another piece on top of that, then removing that thin line so that I have the right placement that I want for my pinstriping. We're going to go ahead and layer this one again, just like we did on the other portions of the tumbler. Once this pinstripe was complete, I added another 10 mLs of Flynn Sisters Fast Cure Epoxy. We're going to apply the UVDTF using the hinge method as I did with the vinyl. Now there is a gap in the back where the two portions of this UVDTF come together, but that's okay. I have a plan to hide that gap. So we're just gonna get this lined up and get it applied. While I apply the UVDTF, I wanted to mention that I wanted the cow to be in the forefront, which is why I applied the pinstriping before I applied the UVDTF, so that everything was sitting on top of those pinstripes. Instead of me having to go and cut around each portion of that cow, I applied them first and then just added that small amount of epoxy to smooth everything out. Don't be like me. Be sure to lift up the other edge of your carrier sheet on your UVDTF before laying the remainder down so that you don't have any issues with lifting any of the UVDTF up. I'm going to seal everything with a thin coat of polyacrylic and then go in with another 10 mLs of Flynn Sisters Fast Cure Epoxy before we move on. I'm back at it with the striping tape. So after applying the UVDTF, I felt like it needed more of the teal pinstriping. So I am going to take the striping tape and I'm going to follow the edge of the brown textured metallic that I had used for the smaller pinstripes so that I can use it as a guide to add additional teal or turquoise pinstriping to the tumbler. I'm going to use the thinner pieces of pinstriping that were in between my measured pinstripes to add the extra turquoise onto the tumbler. now it's time to get the decal ready to be applied onto the tumbler. I have not added another coat of epoxy. However, I typically would not add a decal onto a tumbler on top of pinstripes, as it will cause creasing in your vinyl. But this is a 3-layered decal, and one of the layers, the bottom layer actually, is that brown textured metallic. So I knew going into this that I would not have any creasing because I'm not only using the textured metallic, but I'm also utilizing 3 layers. Before layering this decal, I'm going to weed out what will be on the bottom of the tumbler. I like to create something unique for each of my tumblers that goes with the entire design of the tumbler. But I feel like creating something new for the bottom of each of my tumblers makes them unique. Instead of having the same logo or the same design on the bottom, this allows each tumbler to truly be 100% different with nothing being the same. Of course, I had to go in with the most adorable baby Highland cow. I mean, how doesn't that just match absolutely perfectly to the big Highland cow on the tumbler? I'm now going to layer the main decal for the tumbler, but instead of doing it directly on the tumbler, I'm going to use parchment paper to help me line everything up, as this font is very whimsical and I just wanted to make sure I have it as even as I possibly could. I am using a very small cutting mat. I think it's for the Cricut Joy, but this allows me to hold my vinyl down while I am weeding or while I am doing exactly this, layering different vinyls on top of each other. Now it's time to get it applied. This is why I was not concerned about the gapping in the back from that UVDTF. So my plan was to place this in that area, and here I am figuring out if I want it straight on, to the side. I think I decided to have it kind of straight on, but it does cover that gap perfectly. Now to apply the bottom decal for this tumbler. This was not an easy decal to get off the transfer tape. Took me a lot of tries, but we finally got it. We're going to get this on, and then I'm going to coat with polyacrylic, mix up 20 mLs of Flynn Sisters Fast Cure Epoxy. I do not need that much to coat this tumbler. I probably used about 10 mLs. The remaining 10 mLs I mixed in Sunset Gold from PDB's Glitter Pack 96. It's a gorgeous gold shifty glitter, and I'm going to apply that just in the sections where there's cowhide on this tumbler. This is my very first tumbler that is not covered in glitter or has a lot of glitter. This is very minimal glitter for me, very, very minimal. Once that Fast Cure Epoxy was all set, I finished this tumbler with 20 mLs of Artist Cure Epoxy from Flynn Sisters Supply Shop. And we're all done. If you guys liked this week's tutorial and would like to see more, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you would, comment below where you're watching from, and I'll see you next time.